Prayer. Do you remember when you learned to pray? When I was little, and you're going to hear a lot about me being little, but when I was little, we had this picture that was, our house was not real big, our apartment. And so the central room in the apartment was the kitchen. And so that was also where most of life occurred, was in the kitchen. And we had in one area this picture of the Mother of God. It wasn't necessarily an icon. We didn't have a real lot of icons, but we did have a lot of holy pictures. And that was the place that Mom taught us how to pray, in front of that picture of the Mother of God. I still can picture kneeling there with her every night and learning my prayers with her, sharing them with, just as you have shared with your children, just as you have taught them. I still can picture her teaching me Pukluanin, when Pukluanin were, during the season when Pukluanin became part of prayer. It was the central place, and it was the place where I learned about God, in this holy place that was kind of in the center of where life took place. We had a lot of holy pictures. Every single room in our house had some sort of holy picture or cross or something else. They were everywhere, and they were just part of the decoration, part of the decor. When you walked into the apartment, as soon as you walked in, on the wall across from the door you walked in was a big picture of the resurrection. All of you, I'm sure, are very familiar with it. It is just your basic old antique picture of the resurrection. Jesus, it was in black and white. Jesus was, in white. The soldiers were falling in front. You've seen it a million times. It's the basic picture we all have seen and grew up with. It was a large picture. It was the first thing you saw when you walked into the apartment, and basically the last thing you saw walking out, because it was right there by the door. And Mom had a statue there also of Mary. And during May, she would make a little crown and have a little crown on Mary's statue. It was on a little table under the picture. So we had Mary and we had Jesus as he walked in and walked out of the house. Nothing was ever explicitly said about these things, about these religious images. They were just part of our daily life. They were the center of our home. They spoke about us to anyone who walked in, anyone who had just looked around. They were an important part of our house. They were who we were and what we believed, and anyone who walked in knew it. No words were ever said. They were just there. St. Francis said, "Preach the gospel, and if necessary, use words."